जातिनीति कुलगोत्रगोरगम् नामरूपगुणदोषवर्जितम् देशकालविषयातिवर्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यत्परं सकलभागगोचरम् गोचरं विमलबोधचक्षुषः शुद्धचिह्नमनादिवस्तु यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि षड्भिरोर्निभिरयोगियोगिहृद् भावितं न करणैर्विभावितम् बुद्ध्यवेद्यमनवद्यमस्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि भ्रान्तिकल्पितजगत्कलाश्रयम् स्वाश्रयं च सदसद्विलक्षणम् निष्कलं निरुपमानवद्धि यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि जन्मवृद्धिपरिणत्यपक्षया व्याधिनाशनविहीनमव्ययम् विश्वसृष्ट्यमविघातकारणम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि हस्तभेदमनपास्तलक्षणम् निस्तरङ्गजलराशिनिश्चलम् नित्यमुक्तमविभक्तमूर्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि एकमेव सदनेककारणम् कारणान्तरविलास्य कारणम् कार्यकारणविलक्षणं स्वयम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि निर्विकल्पकमनल्पमक्षरम् यक्षराक्षरविलक्षणं परम् नित्यमव्ययसुखं निरञ्जनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यद्विभाति सदनेकधा भ्रमात् नामरूपगुणविक्रियात्मना हेमवत् स्वयमविक्रियं सदा ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यच्च कास्त्यनपरं परात्परम् प्रत्यगेकरसमात्मलक्षणम् सत्यचित्सुखमनन्तमव्ययम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि जातिनीति कुलगोत्रगोरगम् नामरूपगुणदोषवर्जितम् देशकालविषयातिवर्ति यद् तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यत्पदं सकलभागगोचरम् गोचरं विमलबोधचक्षुषः शुद्धचित्घनमनादिवस्तु यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि षड्भिर्निधिरयोगि योगिहृद् भावितं न करणैर्विभावितम् बुद्ध्यवेद्यमनवद्यमस्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि भ्रान्तिकल्पितजगत्कलाश्रयम् स्वाश्रयं च सदसद्विलक्षणम् निष्कलं निरुपमानवद्धि यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि जन्मवृद्धिपरिणत्यपक्षया व्याधिनाशनविहीनमव्ययम् विश्वसृष्ट्यवविघातकारणम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि हस्तभेदमनपास्तलक्षणम् निस्तरङ्गजलराशिनिश्चलम् नित्यमुक्तमविभक्तमूर्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि एकमेव सदनेककारणम् कारणान्तरविनास्य कारणम् कार्यकारणविलक्षणं स्वयम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि निर्विकल्पकमनल्पमक्षरम् यक्षराक्षरविलक्षणं परम् नित्यमव्ययसुखं निरञ्जनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यद्विभाति सदनेकधा भ्रमात् नामरूपगुणविक्रियात्मना हेमवत् स्वयमविक्रियं सदा ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यच्च कास्त्यनपरं परात्परम् प्रत्यगेकरसमात्मलक्षणम् सत्यचित्सुखमनन्तमव्ययम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि.
Hari Om, good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's invoke the power of joint prayers. Sato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviriyankara Vavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vedvishavahay Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, and the Omnipresent, to such a magnificent Supreme Almighty, who also has the name as Kruthagna, together with utmost obeisance, we offer our humble gratitude and pranams, salutations to the Divine Self, to seek its grace, mercy, blessings, love, affection, kindness, forgiveness. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities such as Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti, Mumukshutva in a much more enhanced quantity. This is only and only to understand Thy true self. Despite the best efforts we put in to understand Thy true self, we seem to still lag behind. And this miracle can happen only and only by Thy grace. Therefore, we beseech in You to grant us this rarest of the rare privilege in understanding Thy true self in this very life alone. Om Tat Sat. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today, by the grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the entire Guru Parampara. We are on our Divine Discourse number 478. On the 26th of May 2026, Viveka Choodamani, Nidhidhyasana, Series 7. Swasti Shri Parabhavanama Samvatsara Uttarayana Grishma Rutu Adhika Jyeshta Masa Shukla Paksha Ekadashyatitau Hasta Nakshatra Siddhinama Yoge Vanijakarani. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all reaffirm, revisit our solemn oath, our sole purpose in life, our one and only goal in our life, Naham Karta Hari Karta, Hari Preranaya Hari Prityartha. It's God's grace and grace alone that has brought us to this state in our life. We beseech, we beg, we plead, we request. To grant us His grace and mercy. Once again, our salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Good evening. A warm welcome to all of you. See, coincidentally, between the English and the Kannada discourses, we see a similarity where in Kannada, we are now in Atma Bodha, where we are doing the meditation on the self. And of course, as you all know, in Viveka Choodamani, we have specifically chosen the 10 meditative verses, Nidhidhyasana. So it's a coincidence. So those who are attending both, they get that advantage of, like as you talk of a double score and a double bonus. So that way, like yesterday they have done meditation, today also they will be doing meditation, something extraordinary for them. Okay. So I think before we move ahead, there is an announcement. In fact, all of us have come so far only and only because of the Chitta Shuddhi which we have created as the foundation of our sadhana. Chitta Shuddhi, cleanliness of our heart. What is this cleanliness of our heart? Meaning where your mind gathers data and your intellect analyzes data, but eventually a fine combination of these two in terms of an understanding does not happen either in the mind nor in the intellect, but in a very special abstract place in our self, which is, we call it as the Hridaya heart, not the physical heart. It's just called as the Hridaya. So that Chitta Shuddhi, I can say that it is primarily extremely important, because without that it is like you have a dirty vessel. You cannot hold anything in that. If the vessel is dirty, first you have to clean it. So that was again by God's grace we got to know as a very important step, and we inculcated it. So as you all are aware, now we have crossed the 11 crore chanting of the Mahamrityunjaya Japa. And a constant thought was there as to where and how we are going to offer it to the lotus feet of the Lord. And eventually the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra fell in place. And again a thought came, why not we offer it straight at Kailash, at the feet of abode of Lord Shiva. So we have made arrangements for doing a yajna, where the medium of transfer will be through the sacred fire in the Homakund. So those who all are there with us, they will be performing the puja, and we will eventually do the samarpan in the Havan Kund. Having said that, the others who are not a part of this yatra, not that they are not, they'll be missing something, no. So what we have organized is, we will invite everybody, whoever wants, who have chanted, who have been a part of this, and those who have not chanted also, who want to be a part of this yajna, the samarpana yajna, they can have in their own homes small yajna kunda. You get 8 by 10, 10 by 12. You can order it on Amazon or any other sites like that, and get a copper Havan Kund, and you all will light the Havan Kund, and we together will we do the samarpan at the same time. See, fire is one in the entire universe. There is no distinction in terms of the fire. So that fire god, Agni Devata, will be carrying the samarpan, what we are doing at that moment. So when we chant the mantra and we offer in Kailash, you at your homes, or you can go to a temple and also organize for yourself, you will be offering over there. So in this regard, what I thought was, we should have 1 or 2 Zoom calls earlier to our going. So I would first suggest you'll all get Havan Kunds and be ready, and then we will, you need to get into the practice of logging in, and then understanding what we are saying. So that acclimatization in terms of familiarization of how the whole process happens, we'll try to have at least 2 sessions. I will let you know when the sessions are, and accordingly we'll be doing this, one of these major rituals. Okay, anybody has any questions on this, you can please text us on the group itself, so that it will be useful for everybody. So this is one. Okay, now, so as we have understood, now these are meditative shlokas. They need that extra capability to understand, that extra effort than what you normally do in terms of listening, understanding, and eventually making it marinate in your mind. So as we did last time, I will keep the shloka on the screen. If you want to have the benefit of this, what you have to do is, first you need to know the word, the meaning. Meaning has to be like kind of by heart. Any word you take, you should be able to tell the meaning. And now what you do is, that meaning what you have said, meaning the word what you say, and the meaning of that word should become you. See, we do affirmations. What is the affirmation? I am happy. You may be miserable, but still you do an affirmation. I am happy. I am healthy. Whatever be a state of health, but we say, I am healthy. I am goodness. I am kindness. These are all these positive affirmations, what we do. But there is a gap. If you carefully observe, you are not that kind, you are not that happy, nor you are that healthy, but you are wanting to become that. Here the assertion has to be, now with all this kind of a study what we have done, Shravana, what did we do? We heard. Up to a point that I understood what has been told, but I still have doubts. So then I started reflecting. Those doubts I clarified with my own mind first, then with whomever I knew who are studying together, or with the teacher of clarified the doubts. Now you are in a state where there are no doubts. Nissamshaya. No samshaya. No doubts. And then what you have understood, you started experiencing it. That is in Nidhidhyasana. How did that happen? Constantly you were thinking about it. And you came to such a state where that marination has happened completely. You came to that state where there is no doubt about what you are contemplating. That has to be the conviction. So, and that conviction can happen when you do this Nidhidhyasana. This is purely marination. You have to soak your mind into these thoughts. So for that, first those thoughts have to be in such a way. Let's say you made some gulab jamuns and there is a sugar syrup. So whatever you made, those balls, you put in the sugar syrup and you allow the sugar to marinate into the ball. For some reason, understand that the soaking is not happening, marination is not happening. Then how much ever time you keep it, it will never soak and you will never be able to eat it. So what is the difference here? I am saying that medium of soaking is, first you need to have clarity and understanding. That soaking will happen only when you have that clarity. This make a very clear understanding of this fact. Otherwise, there is no marination happening. How much ever time you do Nidhidhyasana, you will not, because you have not eradicated your doubts. So this is extremely important. So keeping this in mind, now you have to focus. If you're feeling that you have not understanding, what is that in the sugar syrup which is not allowing the sugar syrup to go inside the ball? What is that? And then you do whatever it takes to ensure that the soaking happens in the appropriate manner. So in the same way, here what is that which does not allow you to feel? Here there is no understanding further. Understanding is happening only up to the manana stage. After the full understanding, then you come to that Nidhidhyasana, where you have to experience it, you have to feel it. So when these shlokas are told, immediately it should come to your mind, oh, they are talking about me, not some abstract thing. That should be your conviction. Oh, they are talking of my true self. I may have this body, I may have this mind, all this is a layer on my true self. Now I know my true self, and look, see, sometimes when you're traveling somewhere, suddenly you listen to a song which you are well aware of. Maybe you must have heard it long back, but suddenly you say, oh, I know this song, I know this, it was my one-time favorite. How you relate to it? In the same way, when somewhere anything is told about this Atman, it should say that it is about me. That conviction has to come and you should start feeling it. Not like these affirmations where I am happy, but at the back of your mind, my God, there are so many things which are disturbing me. I am healthy, and you say, my knees are paining, my back is paining, my neck is paining. No iota of doubt anywhere. And this will happen. Don't have any sort of a misunderstanding or a doubt. Can this happen? I'm telling you, initially even I was struggling with that. How can this happen? But the moment you come out of the shackles of this limitation of your body and mind, then everything will appear to you as a miracle. That is the only thing you need to practice. In your waking state, immediately see yourself in everybody and everybody in yourself. Do that mix up. Anything you see a tree, you see a dog, you see a person, whatever caliber, whatever nature, maybe somebody you don't generally like. Now that liking, disliking is about your mind. So cross all the frontiers, these borders, and just look at the atomic level, and what is in me is in them, and what is in them is also in me. So this is the mind which has created these boundaries. Break the barriers of the mind and go deeply. The moment you break the barrier of the mind, you are set free. That is the only thing you need to pay your attention, and then experience it. Suddenly you'll see, Arey, I've heard so many times, but now how is it that I'm feeling truth about all this? Yeah, that way. So we'll talk about this now. Last time we did 259. We did halfway actually. So I'll give the brief of the half what we did, and then the rest. Okay. Very important phase of our sadhana. हस्तभेदमनपास्तलक्षणं निस्तरङ्गजलराशिनिश्चलं नित्यमुक्त अविभक्तमूर्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि. So the meaning which is given here is that which is free from all distinctions, which is never of the nature of non-existence, which is calm like an ocean without waves, which is ever free and is of indivisible form, that Brahman thou art. Meditate on this in your mind. Bhava Yatmani. Yatmani here is mind. Atma is used in some cases for the body also. So it has got several meanings. Body, mind, Atma can be used apart from this soul itself. So with reference to the context you get the meaning. So here it is, meditate on this in your mind, because where is the ignorance? Ignorance is in the mind. So now if you see each and every shloka, what we are trying to learn over here, it is a pointer talking about your true self. What is the ignorance which we are currently having? Is about not knowing our true self. We just know that I am a person, I am a jiva with my attributes. I am a male, I am a female, I am a teenager, or I'm a middle-aged, or am I old, whatever. And then I have so and so complexion, I have so and so height, so and so is my education, so and so is my profession, so and so is the status of my family, and so is my wealth, accumulations, attributes, all this. This is what we have thought we are. But the sad part is, all this what we have thought to be we are is not what we are. That's a complete U-turn of our true self. And why is this suffering? Only because we are not knowing our true self. Example, you are perspiring in your dream. You are shaking in your dream. You are terribly upset in your dream. Imagine if you had known what is your true self. Would you have undergone all this pain, trauma, tyranny? No. Because you have understood yourself to be the person in that dream, you are experiencing all that trauma and tragedy. The moment you come to know that you are that person who is sleeping on the cozy bed and dreaming about all this, just imagine where if you could have understood, no, I am not this person who is dreaming. I am that in whom the dream is built, where you are immediately released of all your pain. So in the same way, in the waking state, we will come to all those verses today. You have to relate and say, oh, that is my true nature. That's all you have to understand. Now these are all the supporting statements which are coming to us. Okay, so in this, in a state of meditation, what we understand here, asta bheda mana pasta lakshanam, that in which all differences have dissolved and which is beyond all attributes. Just now we spoke about male, female, good, bad, tall, short, dark, fair, educated, uneducated, rich, poor. These are the attributes. And eventually there are the differences also between me and the other. So first he says, you are breaking the barrier of those differences by dissolving and going beyond the attributes. And where are these differences coming? They arise in your mind, or it could be by your perception, or kind of a language which you are listening to around, or you are seeing ego, or different people talking differently. That's how all these differences arise in us. And then what we do, we segregate that reality. As I told you, you are in everyone and everyone is in you. This is our ultimate goal now. If you want to experience your true self, without doing this, you can never experience your true self. If you want to see the world outside, and if you are inside the water, unless and until you bring your head outside the water, you will not be able to see the world outside. Just like that. You have to raise your head outside the water and then look around 360 degrees, you will see the world. But as far as you are in water, you will never be able to see the world outside. So as far as you are within yourself, with all these attributes what we are talking about, you cannot experience this true self. Because you are divided. I, you, I am good, you are bad. I am a sacred person, you are a worldly person. I love God and I am his devotee. What are you? You know, these kind of divisions we have made. So get out of that. Nistaranga jala rashi nischalam. He's saying, Nistaranga, without waves. Jalarashi, vast ocean of water. Don't look at the ocean and see those multiple waves in that ocean. Just know that water alone is appearing as these multiple waves. Nistaranga Jalarashi, Nishchalam, absolutely still. See, if you have done scuba diving, you will know what is the amount of stillness inside. I had the privilege of doing it. It's a different world altogether. You're not going some 1 kilometer below. You're just going some about 50-80 meters. That's all below the surface. See, it's about 100-150 feet. But the amount of stillness it has, the depth it has, is marvelous. Outside you are seeing those waves. Don't look at that. Outside the minds and the thoughts are like the waves. Let it be. But you are stationed where? Not in your mind. You are stationed deep within and you are operating from there. When you cross the frontiers of your mind and you establish yourself deep within, and from there you operate, you are at peace. Imagine that the waves suddenly freeze. You are looking at an ocean Imagine all the waves have freezed. Then the ocean becomes like a lake. No sound, no movement. Everything is still. So in the same way, imagine your life where all your thoughts, your desires, fears, memories, agitations, all this come to us. Stillness. What will be your experience? That is what we experience in deep meditation. So in the same way, the Brahman is wave free, thought free, agitation free, memory free. So if you want to know what you want to become, first you know its qualities and you meditate on those lines. So, and then we heard the story of how Dakshinamurti, all the force Sanakanandana who came to him, and they immediately saw him as a guru over there, despite have traveled all the lokas and having studied all the Vedas, the Upanishads, everything, whatever could be there towards Atma Jnana, they had done everything. But then they saw him as a guru and they said, now we should seek our ultimate experiential knowledge from him. We know the facts, we don't have any doubts, but we are not experiencing the supreme truth. So they sat in front of him and just waiting to hear from him what he will say. He remained silent. Silent beyond extent. And in that silence, their minds became still and the truth unfolded. Because Brahman by himself is not noise, he is complete stillness. So this is what we do in Nidhidhyasana. Initially churn your mind and allow it to come to a state of experience. And then once you are in that state of experience, then you don't have to think of anything. You have stilled everything. The same thing happened with Ramana Maharshi. One of his devotees come to him from quite a far off place. He comes there and he had done enough of spiritual studies. He heard that Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is enlightened, and if I go to him, he'll be able to get that experience. With all that kind of an aspiration, he comes there. He sits in front of him. He doesn't know Tamil. So then he tells him whatever he had in mind, that I have done so and so studies and this, and now I am not able to experience that so-called reality. What do I do? Ramana Maharshi says, Chumairu. He didn't understand. Then he sat for the whole morning, afternoon, till evening. Nothing. He goes there. Ramana Maharshi just says, Chumairu. Next day, same whole day went by, frustrated. He goes and tells the attendant, you know how much money I have spent to come here? How much I have traveled to come here? And just to listen from him, he is saying something, Chumairu. What is the meaning of this? He said, keep quiet. You mean to say to listen to keep quiet I have come here? What is the meaning of keeping quiet? And then Ramana Maharshi overheard his talk with the disciple Shishya over there. And then he calls him and with a smile he says, when I say Chumairu means don't think now, you have done enough. Don't think. Just stay silent. All that will fructify within yourself. Now is the time where you have to allow things to marinate. So, Mauna Vakya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattva Yuvanam. That Mauna, whatever is there, in that silence, you will eventually experience that Parabrahma Tattva. In this way, we had completed till here. Now we go to the third quarter. Nitya Mukta Avibhakta Murti Yada. Nitya Mukta avibhakta murti yada. Now here it says, that which is eternally free and indivisible again. It is eternally free. When do we say that we are bound? Because we are all bound in time, space and object. And we are for a limited period. We have a date of birth and we are going to have a date of death also. So that is our period of being here. But here he says eternal. So which means it was neither born nor it dies. See, there you're getting out of the bodyhood. And free. Free in the sense you are neither in one particular object nor in one particular place. Object is vastu. Desha is place. Kala means time. You are always there. So here you are saying this bondage what we have got. Now you have understood what? I am so and so person with my limitations. He says break those limitations. You don't have to become free. You are already free. Bondage is imagined by you because I myself, the Lord says, I have set that ignorance on you. You are already free. You are eternal. What more you want? You are traveling by some economy, long distance flight. Say you are going to the US, more than 24 hours. And you have got a seat somewhere next to the toilet. And in that situation, if somebody comes and say, sir, for whatever reason, we are upgrading you to the first class. Would you like to take it? Will you think for a moment? You will jump in joy. You will say, yes, I am ready. Even before the person could complete the sentence, you will get up and say, I am ready. Come, let's go. This is what is being offered. Even this economy and first class, what I am comparing is too meager. With what loads of papa we have got, we don't know. How many more lives we are going to be born and again die, we don't know. Now in that status, here you are getting that eternally free and indivisible. Imagine what status you are being upgraded to. And we are all under process. Work in progress. One day it has to complete. It has started, meaning it will complete. Maybe there could be a delay, but it will complete. So here you have to imagine that. So you're breaking, every time you're breaking the sense of I, me, mine, body, mind, all this you're breaking here. So Nitya Mukta Avibhakti Murti Yada. Nitya Mukta is eternally free. Avibhakta Murti Yada is indivisible reality. Again, you are that one. As I told you, in the waking state, when you look at the world, just combine everything. You and others are all one. Initially, it may appear a little weird. I'm not saying suddenly it will, you will be able to grasp it and you will be able to start liking it. No. It may, but eventually you will start loving to see that. Because the moment you compare everybody as one, you as everybody and everybody as you, Dvaitam Bhayat. When do you get fear? When there are two. Imagine you are sitting in a room. You are at home, let's say. It's already night, your parents are not there. Nobody is there, you are alone. And you are good enough. In that night, suddenly the power is gone. Completely dark. Not a trace of light anywhere because the whole area has conked off electricity. You're still okay. But if there is a sound from somewhere at the back and you see something moving, imagine where the fear comes from. Just imagine. You will suddenly, oh, there is somebody. So that fear is only because there is somebody else. When it is everybody is you and you alone, so there is no loss, there is no gain, there is no victory, there is no defeat, there is no love, there is no pain. That way. Because everything belongs to you. So that indivisible. That is what here Bhagavan Shankaracharya tries to say. Lord Krishna in the Gita says, Avibhaktan cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiva cha sthitam. The undivided appears as though divided among beings, but I am all one. So, and then the last quarter, Brahma Tattvam Asi Bhavayatmani. You are that Brahman. That which is running your entire body and mind. 100 trillion neurons in your brain. What do you know? And you say, I am the body. How dare you say that? You should say, I am neither the body nor the body belongs to me. Something of this magnitude, something of this high precision, where you have no idea of what it is, by ignorance and by a huge mistake we are doing this. So get out of that. And what is that which is driving this entire body, mind, that awareness? That and Brahman are both one and the same. Tat Tvam Asi. Both are one and the same. Tat, that, Tvam, you meaning the awareness within you, and Tat is that supreme reality. Asi, they are one and the same. Bhavayatmani. Contemplate this deeply within yourself. This is what is told in 259. Come. Now let's go to 260. Every stanza has a different flavor, giving you the different parameters of knowledge from different angles. Okay. Ekameva sadaneka karanam karanantara nirasa karanam karya karana vilakshanam swayam brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. That which, even though it is one existence, so what are we getting to understand? Know that there is only one. Don't think there are many. So even though it is one existence, by the very word you get to know there is only one, is the cause for the many, which refutes all other causes, but itself is without a cause, which is distinct from cause and effect and is independent by itself. That Brahman thou art. Meditate on this in your mind. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. See, now what we are trying to do is, we are, whatever wrong notions and loosely framed ideas we have about ourselves in our mind, which have come by conditioning, by, say, from our parents, grandparents, from our siblings, immediate family, society. Now all these conditioning, what it has made certain neurons, neuroplasticity, what we call neural pathways in your mind. That could be anything. somebody is scared about something, somebody is too easy about something. All these are your neural pathways which you have created. Now, what does neuroplasticity say? That every negative thought you have can be replaced with a positive thought. And neuroplasticity completely backs it up. You cannot just say remove this. You have to replace it with a positive thought. So as we have done the anatma, removing this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, then tell me what you are. Unless and until you put a positive thought, the circuit doesn't complete. So we cannot undo a negative thought or a relationship pattern. We have to overwrite it with a new one. Absolutely, every single thought matters. So that is what we are exactly doing over here. All the negative we are removing and we are putting in these positive thoughts. So now what does this, what is the angle over here? 254 and 255, he withdrew from anatma. He removed the negative thought. 56 and 57, he says recognize this witness consciousness. 58 and 59, he dissolved the world duality. And now we are at 260, he says abide as that pure Brahman. Know that pure Brahman as your true nature. Because it's not your capacity to have such a body and mind which is working in a miraculous way. Can you ever think you can create anything what is there in yourself? No. You have just accepted it. That is the conditioning which we have gone through. So now you abide as that pure Brahman. He is giving that positive. After having removed, now there is a shelf and there is some stuff in the shelf. A cupboard, a shelf, an almirah. Now you have bought new things. You want to put it in the shelf which is already full. So what you have to do first? You have to remove what is there inside. You remove it completely. Clean it up properly. And then put the new stuff what you have inside. Imagine when it is already stuffed and you take this and you push it through, you will be never able to keep it there. So in the same way, this anatma we first have to remove. How can I be this body? How can I? Ask yourself, how can you be this? And once you have realized, oh my God, I am not this. It was my sheer misunderstanding that I am this. And once you have accepted that, know that it was all this time, it was my wrong understanding. I now know what my true nature is. By a gross calculation, every second in our body, 38 lakh cells die and 38 are born. 38 lakh. And in 1 minute, how much it is? 23 crores. They are born and they die. And in 1 hour, 1400 crores cells. And each cell, if you just see how a cell is constructed, it has got its own brain, mitochondria. And how these brains, they all know that we all are one. The moment the brain says I am different, it becomes cancerous. So when you start hating somebody, first thing what happens is your brain cells gets confused. Because there are so many cells along with it. And the astonishing part is, these cells do not consider the cells which are in the other bodies as different. They consider they also as their own. Just like they have considered within the body, even the outside body also they consider as their own. See this Sarvatma Bhava, how does it play? And the moment you consider others, you start hating, then there is a clash. And the cells start getting disturbed and over a point of time depressed and eventually cancerous. So you must have seen people who have led very good, very healthy habits, but still how did they get cancer? This is one of the reasons. Somewhere they have got hatred towards somebody, anger towards somebody, jealousy towards somebody. And now this 1400 crores in 1 hour, if you calculate for a day, it is about 33,000 crores. They get replaced every day. And you call it your body? What have you done for this? It's now very easy to disown. No, it's not mine, it's not mine. I don't know any damn thing what is happening here. I'm so sorry, it is not mine. Now, this anatma bhava, you have come out now of this. Now in 60 and 61, you are telling yourself what your true nature is. What is the first one? Ekameva sada aneka karanam. That one existence alone, there is only one existence, which is the cause behind the many. Now you see, you go on the road, you see several cars, several vehicles, and then you don't know, let's say, you ask somebody, do they all belong to the same company, manufacturing company? No, there are several companies who manufacture. Okay, oh, I see. Then you see several buildings, on to the left, on to the right. You say, oh, all these buildings are by the same builder. The person who is with you, he says, no, what are you talking? There are several builders. Each building belongs to a different builder, maybe some together also. Then people are using mobiles. All these mobiles, are they of the same company? No way, there are several companies again. But when you look at the world, the whole creation belongs to one creator. One creator. That Brahman, although is one alone, he is the cause of the many. Now, which is the cause that refutes or eliminates all other causes? He says, because he is one, there is none other than that one creator. This is the meaning. So now you understood ekameva sadaneka karanam, meaning the entire, there is only one existence. He is slowly bringing us to abide in this. Karanantara nirasa karanam. After having said that one reality alone is the cause behind the many, now slowly he says, Karanantara nirasa karanam. Meaning, Karana antara, another cause, nirasa, he says, remove it. Just by the very word, when I say there is only one, there cannot be any other. So he says that which removes the need or the prevalence of another cause. The same thing which he has said in a different way. When you tell somebody, I am not able to come. Now you want to emphasize that I am not able to come for whatever you have called me for your function or whatever it is. I am not able to come. Then to emphasize, what do you say? So please mark my absence. Same thing. So he says, when there is no other cause, he says, so understood that there is the need for no other cause is also removed over here. So now you have, in fact, many other Upanishads are also talking. Mundaka Upanishad. It says, Kasminno bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavatiti. Oh revered sir, by knowing what does everything else become known? This is by the disciples Shaunaka. He asked the sage Angiras, what is that one thing knowing which everything becomes known? So Chandogya Upanishad also says in this 6th chapter, Uddalaka tells Shvetaketu. Uddalaka is the father, Shvetaketu is the son. Father and son, they are Guru and Shishya. Yena shrutam shrutam bhavati amatam matam avijñātam vijñātam. By knowing that what was unheard becomes heard, what was unknown becomes known. See how it is told differently. Meaning that is one reality. You know that one. You have known everybody, everything, every place, all the time. In Bhagavad Gita 7.2, Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshamya asesataha yajnatva neha bhujonyam nyajgnatvam avishishyate. Lord Krishna says, I shall teach you this knowledge together with direct realization, completely knowing which nothing further remains to be known. So know that power, that one power. Stay established in it. Once Brahman, the substratum, is known, all names, forms, causes, effects, that multiplicity are understood as mere experiences. Just like when you know gold, all ornaments are essentially known. So, Vedanta is not about the knowledge of knowing several things. It is knowing that one reality to the very core and depth. See, in science, what happens if you actually observe? You see a chair or a table, and then you say, oh, this chair, table, I'm presuming it's a wooden chair, wooden table, is made out of wood. Then what you go backwards. Oh, wood is coming from where? A tree. And where did the tree come from? From a seed. And then again behind that seed you have biology. You have molecules and then atoms, and then behind the atoms there is energy. But all this happens in science. You go backward, quarks and all these, even much lower than that. In Vedanta, what is the substratum because of which everything is known? You don't need to know anything, just know consciousness. That one consciousness, which we are now talking about in different ways. Know that alone. And then the third one, Karya Karana Vilakshanam Swayam. Karya, effect. Karanam, cause. The tree is the effect. The cause is the seed. Now, this consciousness or existence which we are talking about, it itself is beyond the cause and effect. This is another new dimension we are getting now. It's not that it is like for an effect there is a cause. It is not that it is the cause. It is neither the cause nor the effect. Now you have to keep this in mind. How can something be there without a cause? An effect cannot be there without a cause. And now here you are saying it is one thing which is the existence of everything, and then again you are defying, saying that it is not the cause and it is also not the effect. So keep it aside, we will try to understand this. Now, Brahman is cause of universe. And cause brings what? There is time, change, and there is your mind. But what do we say? Brahman is timeless, changeless, and it's nowhere about the mind, it is absolute. So, from a lower standpoint, Brahman is the cause. From the Saguna Brahma. Now here we are talking of Nirguna Brahma. From the point of view of Saguna Brahma, he is the cause. But from the point of the highest standpoint, he is Nirguna. Like, for example, a screen, it never makes movies. It only movie appears on the screen. So like another strong example is the dream again. Inside the dream, events happen. there are causes which exist, effects are all happening, but after waking you realize that there was no actual causation which occurred over there. Entire dream arose simultaneously in the mind. Was there a world? But when we were experiencing the dream, there was a fantastic world. I saw beautiful places. I had a gala time in my dream. Now, was that all there? No. So that is the meaning of there is no cause, there is no effect. It is an illusion. So Vedanta says this entire universe appears within consciousness. Now I'm going to tell you one more thing which impacted me a lot, which I constantly meditate upon. What is this? Know that your consciousness is appearing as the waking person in this waking world, and in which all the objects, persons, places of the waking world are seen. Now, constantly, what are you? Just like as in a dream, if you knew that you are the dreamer, and if say, okay, you are in dream, you are a dream character, I am also a dream character in your dream, okay? I come to you and I tell you, you know, you are the one who has created this entire world around. Even you have created me. You will say, what? I have my own problems. I am not able to pay my house rent. I am not able to pay my EMIs. I have a terrible toothache. I have a knee pain. See, you will start talking of your problems. And I am telling you that you are the one who has created this entire world in front of you in the dream world. But now, on waking up, was it not true what I came and told you? That you were the creator of this entire dream world, including you as a dream character and also me as a dream character. So know that your consciousness is appearing as the waking person in this waking world. That's all. You are getting this knowledge, and don't consider yourself to be this one isolated, weak, dissolute, and not so good for anything. No. You are that consciousness. And then why am I like this? This is a role I am playing over here. That's all. Simple. I am playing a role. You may be the producer, the director, the screenplay, writer, everything. And you may be playing an ordinary role in the movie. In the same way, I am a character over here. Which means whatever is happening in me as this character, my true self is that one consciousness. Again and again we are told, existence is one, consciousness is one. So we are going back to that. So stay in this reality. Although you're waking and moving around, at the back of your mind, keep this thought. I am that consciousness in which all this is appearing. Just like you would have told, being the person in the dream, that I am the dreamer in which all this is appearing. That's all. There you are, it was your dream mind. Here it is that consciousness in your waking state through this mind, body and senses is operating. That's all. That's the difference. And now what happens? Once you get established in this reality, now you are not a person in your waking state. You are not a waker. You become the awakened. You are awakened now to the reality, knowing that you are that consciousness. Massive shift from where you are. This is that small change which we need to make in our understanding. Whatever way you want to think, you think. You think you're fooling yourself, you're hypnotizing yourself, or you are warding off the ignorance. But the truth is this: we suffer in the dream because we don't know we are the creator of the dream and the dreamer. Creator as the dreamer. Here we are not the person in this waking state. We are that consciousness in which this person is in the waking state and in this waking world. That's all. Mandukya Upanishad says, Gaudapada says, no creation truly exists and no destruction truly exists, only Brahman exists. So in deep sleep, where is the cause and effect? Ask yourself. In a dream, you had a dream world, but when you go to deep sleep for some time, where is the cause and where is the effect? But you still existed. So that is what exactly now connect to what we discussed. There is no, you are neither the cause nor the effect, but you are that existence which is the cause of everything. So that causeless existence is Brahman. Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. You are that Brahman. Meditate deeply within it. Just to know this one thing, if you practice, know that in the waking state you are not the waker. You are that consciousness appearing as the waker, and the world in front of you is also in that consciousness. That's all. Keeping this in your background, go on listening, go on studying, go on reflecting. You are safe. In a village, there was a young boy. He had never been to the town. So his father one day tells him, my son, I think you're old enough now. I'll take you to the town and I'll take you for a movie. So the son asks his father, what is the meaning of a movie? Olden days there was no TV, so the concept of screen, all that he didn't know. He says, there is one, you get into a tent and there are chairs in the tent, all facing in one direction. And there are chairs, there are benches, and there are also people sitting on the floor. And in front of everybody there will be a big white screen, a big white bed sheet. He doesn't know screen. He says like one bed sheet, there will be a huge bed sheet in front of you. And then there you will see on that bed sheet, you will see pictures. Several pictures will be coming and going. So it will all look to you like there is a world out there on that screen where you will start enjoying it. You will get immersed in the characters and in the event, the scene, all that will keep happening to you. And you will enjoy it. There will be songs, there will be fights, all this. Oh, this boy is already thrilled. And by the time they reached the theater, the movie had started. Now, father and son both in that dark light, immediately they have come from outside. Pupils take time to adjust. So then he said, Arey, Papa, I can't see anything. He says, wait, you will be able to see. Sudden darkness from sunlight. He waits for some time and slowly he is able to see the steps and he goes and sits wherever he had to sit. Movie is going on, it's bright. Now, the father is looking at, the son is looking at this bed sheet. So he has understood as a big bed sheet. And he asks his father, Papa, where is this bed sheet? He says, right there. No, I can see Lord Krishna and Arjuna. He is kneeling in front of him. That's all I can see. Look behind, look behind. Look, behind him I'm able to see the army. I'm not able to see anything else. Acha. Look behind that. Then the son says, Papa, I'm able to see the sky. Behind that I'm able to see the sky. The sun is about to set. Look behind that. The son says, I'm not able to understand what you're saying. And while they were discussing, now this interval. The interval, the projector goes off and there is no more light on the screen, and there he sees that huge, big, large bed sheet. Oh, Papa, see, this is bed sheet. Here I can see huge bed sheet. How can they make such a big bed sheet? He's asking. Okay. Now the point here is, now the boy has seen the bed sheet. That is the screen. And once the movie starts, again, he says, now I can see it. Behind all this, I can see the screen. So in the same way, we have to understand what is the screen. It is that consciousness existence in our lives. Seeing everything, know that the reality is the consciousness. And how do I know this? By studying, by understanding all this. Whatever we are trying to gain knowledge. So this way, train your mind. Allow this knowledge to soak in. Simple things, as I told you, to disown your body. This is the magnitude of your body. This is one of the functions I'm talking about, the cells in your body. What about the neurons in your brain? What about the different cells of different parts of the body? The liver has its own cells, the skin has its own cells, the eyes has its own cells, and they all have a different period where they die and they are born again. This is an overall average which I gave you. Some they get replaced in 10 days, some in 1 month, some in a year, some in 7 years, some they don't in the entire lifetime. This is the marvelous nature. Who is controlling all this? And you claim that you are the owner of this body? No, never make such a big mistake. There's no greater fool than us if at all we're trying to say that this is my body, this is my mind, I am this. No. If at all you are just a witness of all this. You're a custodian of all this. That's it. Be in that thought. And who is the true owner if you are the custodian? It is that consciousness, existence. Sat, Chit. Now we come to Ananda, Satchidananda, these are the three things. What is this Ananda? This is another interesting factor again over here, which really it was very difficult for me to understand. What is this Ananda we are talking about? The very nature of this Atman is Ananda. Yes, okay, to listen it's good, but how does it relate to my life? Just now as we are understanding existence, okay, this body is existence, and the awareness within which is consciousness. Then what is this Ananda? Now let's understand that. 261. Nirvikalpamanalpamaksharam yaksharakshara vilakshanam param nityamavyaya sukham niranjanam brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. That which is free from Maya, which is infinite and indestructible, which is other than the world of change, which is supreme and eternal, which is permanent and indivisible bliss. Ananda. untainted. That Brahman, thou art. Meditate on this in your mind deeply. Now, here I wanted to share one very important concept, which I said it actually was very difficult for me to understand, because some things, when they are extremely contradictory, it becomes difficult to digest and understand, and the way they have written it is all the more difficult. It makes it difficult, the way they have addressed it. Okay, now this is from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So I will tell this concept, and then maybe we'll go to the rest of the shloka in the next session. Okay, now Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, as you know, is one of the most profound and the largest of all the Upanishads. Who are the main characters here? Sage Yajnavalkya and his two wives, Maitreyi and Katyayani. Yajnavalkya happens to be an extremely renowned scholar of those days. Like, you can, where he's heading a ashrama teaching, which is like the top of the league. Now, along with him are his wives Maitreyi and Katyayani. Now, one day, Yajnavalkya calls both his wives and he says, look, I have done enough of teaching, enough of building institutes. Now I would like to go and be in a state of meditation. I want self-realization. Now he is a scholar of that caliber. He says, I want to go and be in that state of deep contemplation. So my duty here is, both the wives are sitting in front of him. I am going to divide all what I have over here, the university, the bank balances, all the other possessions, all whatever we have, I am going to divide equally amongst you two. Katyayani, a very simple housewife, a devoted wife to Yajnavalkya, not that smart, intelligent. She says, Prabhu, whatever you say is fine with me. But Maitreyi doesn't stop. She is the smart one. She asks Yajnavalkya, can I ask you a question? He says, please, Maitreyi, you are dear to me. Tell me, what is your question? Where you said you're going? He says, to gain self-realization. Mukti. So Maitreyi says, if you give me this half share of whatever you have, will I be able to get mukti from it? Yajnavalkya says, no way. Even if I give you the full share also, you will not get. Acha. And she knew what mukti is. What is this liberation? Free from birth and death, joy and sorrow, pain and pleasure. So he says, Swami, if that is the situation, then I don't want this. I don't want. Now Yajnavalkya appreciates that. He says, wow, you are on my lines. You are thinking different. You don't want to be in this world. You want to rise above this world. And then he looks at her. He says, come, sit next to me. So Maitreyi goes closer to him and then he says, if you don't mind, can I ask you, can you tell me how to reach that state? And then Yajnavalkya immediately starts with bombarding. You know what he says? He says something very peculiar. This actually, this was like a bombshell for me as well. He says, navare patyuhu kamaya patihi priyo bhavati atmanastu kamaya patihi priyo bhavati. He says, verily, my dear Maitreyi, the husband is not loved for the sake of the husband, but for the sake of the self he is loved. She didn't understand anything. And I think same, all of us, we don't understand when you listen to this. Then Yajnavalkya repeats the same. For now everything he says for the, here it was about the husband, now he takes the child, the wife, the children, the wealth, the world, gods, everything he takes the same way. Na va are jaya yai kamaya jaya priya bhavati atmanastu kamaya jaya priya bhavati. The wife is not loved for the sake of the wife, but for the sake of the self she is loved. Whoosh. Navare putranam kamaya putraya priya bhavanti atmanastu kamaya putraha priya bhavanti. Children are not loved for the sake of the children, but for the sake of the self they are loved. Whoosh. Navare vittasya kamaya vittam priyam bhavati atmanastu kamaya vittam priyam bhavati. Wealth is not loved for the sake of wealth, but for the sake of the self. Self means Atman, it is loved. So this way he goes on and on. And therefore, he says, okay, I understand, but now then what next? What do I do to get to this understanding? Then he comes out with this very famous shloka of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Atma vare drashtavyaha shrotravyaha mantavyaha nidhidhyasitavyaha. He says, if you want to understand what this Atma is, therefore, dear one, this self must be realized. How? It must be heard. Shrotravyaha. Reflected upon, mantavyaha, and nidhidhyasitavyaha, deeply contemplated. Now here Yajnavalkya is revealing something astonishing. He said, we think, I love my spouse, I love my children, I love my wealth, I love status. But what you truly love is the happiness, the completeness, and the fullness that you experience when you are with all this. And that fullness actually belongs to your Atma. Ananda, what we say, For the sake of your Atma, you are loving your spouse, you are loving your child, you are loving your possessions, you are loving your status, you are loving your power, your everything what you have. So why does everyone ultimately seek whatever we call as love, security, peace, happiness, fame? Because the self itself is Ananda, bliss. All worldly love, what we see is actually, that is the unconscious love for the self. We don't know. Consciously we don't know. But unconsciously, now what is happening? Suppose a person says, I love coffee. But imagine if the coffee suddenly caused pain to that person. Or it caused some kind of uneasiness, sickness, nausea, suffering. Would they still love it? No. Meaning, coffee is not loved independently. It is loved because it gives a pleasant experience to that person. And to whom is that person in the true sense? It is to the Atma. So everything in our life, everything, every place, every object becomes dear because the self is dear. Atma is dear. Now again and again we are going to that Atma. That Atma is dearest because that is our true nature. People constantly, what we do now? We scroll social media. We always on the rise to seek validation. we look at our achievements. Why? Not for the objects themselves, but because they give you some kind of hope that I feel complete, or I will feel complete. I may not feel fulfilled right now, but one day I'll feel fulfilled. So Vedanta says that completeness you seek outside is actually your own nature. You are looking in the wrong place. So when someone says, I want to be loved, I want to be cared, I want to be whatever, what they truly seek is freedom from that inner incompleteness. And that completeness is the Atma, the Self. When the Atma is not complete, you seek outside. So, and how the Upanishadic teachings tell us? It tells us about these attachments, relationships, desire, ambition, fear. But if you look deeply, everything is fundamentally in search for the Atma. Since we are with that curtain of ignorance, we seek externally. Externally we are seeking. It is there inside. The more the incompleteness is there within, you will look outside. How will I get satisfaction from sense pleasures? How will I get satisfaction from my spouse? How will I get satisfaction from my son and daughter? How will I get satisfaction from going to a different place? How will I get satisfaction from spending some money on myself? Now, this is what the Upanishad says, okay? Now, I'll tell you how I related this in my own understanding in terms of application of this to science. When do we like or love an object? Object, person, place. When I say object, it is all object, person, place. You love or like an object, person, place when it releases those happy hormones in us, which we call as dopamine. Now these hormones, they give us happiness so that whatever makes or it takes for these hormones to be released, we love that person or that object. As far as that person is giving you those happy hormones, you love that person or that object. Now imagine, no sooner the person or that object behaves in a way where the happy hormones are not created now, they are not released in you, you immediately want to get rid of that person. That's how you have these love marriages and then these divorces. Till the time that person was giving, his or her attitude was where happy hormones are released, which was kicking the dopamine, you're feeling good and you like it. And the moment the dopamine hormones are not released, you say, I want to get rid of this. In other words, we say, I got bored of that person or that object. Now what releases the happy hormones? Put a question. It is the Atman. What is Atman? The entire structure of your creation. As existence and consciousness, it has designed in this body. So primarily we love the person or the object, not for the sake of the person or the object, but for the sake of the Atman. So to trigger the happiness which comes from the self. Now what is to be decoded now here is, do we really need objects or persons to make the Atman happy? Ask a question and think about it. Why is it that the saints, the realized masters, why do they not chase people or objects or fame or status? because the veil of ignorance has moved. Now what outwardly they are looking, that is coming from the Atman only. They have understood the source and they tap the source. Now others who do not know the source, we get stuck in looking outside, and whichever object gave us that dopamine kick or happy hormones by pleasing us, we catch hold of it. That's how we see so much of impermanency in this world. Somebody is so mad after some person. It could be a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a job, or an event, or an animal, whatever it is. But till the time it is giving you happiness, you are stuck to it. Now this connection we have to understand. The source of every happiness which you see in the outside world, the origination is happening in the Atman. Instead of going to the objects in the outside world which are temporary and impermanent, go to the permanent source. You will not only get happiness in your life while leading a life, but you will also become eternal. What all qualities we spoke just now? Anitya, Nirvikalpa, Nirguna, Nirakara, Nirmala, Niranjana. All this becomes your qualities. Change the direction in which you are going, and you will experience bliss in life. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Almighty to seek His grace, mercy and blessings. Naham karta hari preranaya hari prityartam Shri Krishna arpanamastu idam namama. Om Tat Sat. So, good evening to all of you once again. So think carefully, we'll discuss more about the bliss. Where is this divine bliss? And where are we searching? You have kept something in your back pocket and you're searching in your shirt pocket. How can you get it? Go to the right place. So that's what we are guided now. Once you are in touch with that source of bliss, you will not need anything else. The rest will appear fika, what they say, bland. Otherwise, today what? People travel places, they spend lakhs looking for something in an object. Oh, this is going to make me happy. It's an impermanent thing. How can an impermanent thing, object, or a person or a place give you permanent happiness? Think about it. Only permanent thing, that is that Atman itself, can give you. The more you go closer to the Atman, you are in the right direction. Worldly duties are necessary. You have to do it appropriately. No compromise on that. But what we generally get is, we get over committed and we get stuck in life. So know the right route and the right destination. Once the direction is right, speed is immaterial. But there's no point in having great speed in the wrong direction. That way. Shri Krishna.
से दोस्ती न काहू से बैर, कबीरा खड़ा बाजार में सबकी मांगे खैर, न काहू से काहू से बैर, बुरा जो देखन में चला, बुरा न मिलिया खोए, जो दिल खो जा अपना, मुझसे बुरा न खो, मुझसे बुरा न खो। धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ होए, रे मना धीरे सब कुछ होए, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा ऋतु आए फल होए, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा ऋतु आए फल होए। दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई, दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे काहे को होए। मन मंदिर में दीप जला, बाहर भटके लोग, भीतर बैठा राम है, खोजे बन बन योग। कबीरा खड़ा बाजार में सबकी मांगे खैर, ना काहू से दोस्ती ना काहू से बैर। आंगन कुटी छवाए, बिन पानी साबुन बिना निर्मल करे सुभाए। शब्द संभाली बोलिए, शब्द के हाथ न पाओ, एक शब्द औषधि करे, एक शब्द करे घाव। काल करे सो आज कर, आज करे सो अब, पल में प्रलय होएगी, बहुरे करेगा कब। जाति न पूछो साधु की, पूछ लीजिए ज्ञान। मोल करो तलवार का, पड़ा रहन दो म्यान। बोया पेड़ बबूल का, आम कहाँ से होए? जैसा बीज तू बोएगा, वैसा ही फल होए। जैसा बीज तू बोएगा, वैसा ही फल होए। सब करे मन को बिरला कोय, सहज सब विधि पाई, जो मन जोगी होए। जग में आए हो तो ऐसा कर जाओ, जग में आए हो तो ऐसा कर जाओ। हंसते हंसते जाइए, जग रोवे तो रोवाओ। जो खुद से ही जीत ले, हार उसे न छुए। मन का बैरी मार कर सहज समाधि हुए, सहज समाधि हुए। ना कहू से दोस्ती, ना कहू से बैर,